Hi, I'm making a video because USF has just started to do a campaign about being stronger than you knew you were. And I really wanted to reach out to people and share my story and hope that some of you might find hope in it and encouragement. For me, I know exactly what it feels like to feel like you're going through things and you're alone and that you're ashamed to tell people that you're struggling or that you might need help. And I just really want to share my story and encourage people that if that is you, that you really have so many places that you can go and that none of us are nearly as alone as we might feel sometimes. When I was an undergraduate at USF, I'm now a graduate student, but when I was an undergraduate, I was about 20 years old. I was at a huge university when I had grown up in a small town, and I was very overwhelmed by a lot of things. And there was some personal secrets that I had carried my whole life about being abused that I had never spoken with anybody about, honestly. And what ended up happening as the stress of school and other things in my life started to take their toll on me, by the time I was about 20 years old, I started to try and cope with the stress that I was feeling in my life with alcohol. And within a matter of about a year, I became what I considered to be an alcoholic. And I didn't know what to do. I wasn't able to attend classes anymore. I felt very ashamed. I felt like I was failing everybody who believed in me and failing myself. And I just want to tell anybody that might be going through things that you're not able to know how to deal with right, that drinking or using drugs or any other outlet like that, we all know deep down inside doesn't fix the problem. And for me, I was too scared to face the real problem, which was that I had been abused as a child, and I believed that there was something horribly wrong with me, and I didn't want anybody to know. And what ultimately happened over time is that I had to leave USF. I nearly failed out of all of my classes, even though I had always been an A student my whole life. And I just felt like my life was spinning out of control. And I got to the point where, after a couple years of not being in school, I broke down. And I told the truth to somebody about my drinking problem and that I wanted to get my life together. And what ended up happening is that I found out that there were a lot more people out there who could support me than I thought there were. And there were a lot less judgment from people than I was afraid there was going to be. And so I decided to get counseling, and I did that for many years. Also worked to get sober, and just really started to be honest with my friends and family about how much I had been trying to carry on my shoulders my whole life. And it wasn't a quick process of healing. It's one of those things that you work on for your whole life. But I attended a rally where I shared my childhood experience, where I was able to be courageous enough to stand up and talk about being sober and better than I had been. And what ended up happening ultimately, as I got better, I decided that I wanted to get my degree and I wanted to finish college. And so I had to write to appeal for USF to still allow me back in because of how I had left with such poor grades. And I was just completely honest with the review board about the struggles that I went through, and they let me come back. And I completed my bachelor's degree a year and a half later in social work, and actually came right back around a year later and applied and got into a master's program at USF. I am now a recipient of a USF fellowship that I believe I got in part because I shared with the committee what challenges I had overcome, and they believed in me and my dreams and my desire to be the first person in my family to graduate from college and to get my master's degree. And I am now 3 months away from graduating with my master's degree. And so I know that deep down inside I am much stronger than I ever knew, and that when I really found the strength and courage to really reach out and talk to people and take specific action to take responsibility for my life slowly started to get better. And I just really would encourage you that if you're going through your own struggles and you feel alone and you feel like you don't know how to get through it, there are people everywhere who can help you. And I wish you the very best. You are stronger than you know too. Bye-bye.